What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about the most comfortable basketball shoes on the market right now. So let's get straight into it and start with my first pair, which is going to be the Nike KD18. For these, they have an insanely comfortable cushioning setup. We have full length Cushioning 3.0, a heel air strobel unit and forefoot air zoom unit. Really comfortable, a lot of compression as well. For some of the pairs on the list, there's not going to be as much cushioning, but the upper and the materials are just so nice and comfortable around your foot. For these, however, it's just the cushioning setup. The rest of the shoe I didn't like as much as the predecessors, but those also have really nice cushioning setups. So the 17 and the 18. I didn't like the 15. 14 is also great if you can find a pair. For the next shoe on the list, I want to go to New Balance, as this is the Fresh Foam BB Volume 3. Amazing colorway and yet again amazing cushioning setup, but here the materials also play a part. Very soft, a lot of padding, and just an amazing fresh foam dual density setup with a lot of compression. With these you're definitely high off the ground, so if you don't like that feeling, probably this entire list isn't the best for you, but there are some pairs that have a lower to the ground cushioning setup and just very comfortable materials. The next pair I want to talk about, I've talked about a lot on my channel, the Nike Ja 3. These have full length Zoom X cushioning and the compression in the heel is absolutely amazing. You'll have seen it on the thumbnail for this video too. I post a lot of shoe sound videos, that's what I call them, on my other socials in short form content, also here on YouTube Shorts. And whenever I post a shoe sound video of the Ja 3 with a close-up of the compression in the heel, the views tend to get through the roof and go crazy. And a lot of people are concerned that they're not stable enough. I think they're perfectly safe to play, and they're just not the most supportive shoes, not like something like the hard 9 or 10s or the Joker 1s, where you have amazing lockdown where your foot is going absolutely nowhere. That's not the case, but they're perfectly safe to play in my personal opinion. And as I said, full length Zoom X cushioning is always great. The next pair I want to talk about is the 741 Rover, Jaylen Brown's signature shoe. He's going absolutely crazy, all-star starter, very much deserved. For my Celtics, that makes me happy, of course. I thought this season was rather going to go two ways because Jason Tatum was out. But for the shoe, this is actually a case of a pair that doesn't have as much cushioning, but that just has incredibly comfortable materials and just enough in the cushioning setup to be comfortable all around. It's just like walking on a cloud with these. The materials are so soft, especially this stretchy upper right here, and there's a lot of padding in the shoe as well. So it really hugs your foot. It's a very comfortable feeling, and I can highly recommend them. One downside is that they're pretty expensive at 200 euros or dollars. The next pair I have on my list is from Jordan brand, and that's another case of a shoe that doesn't have as much cushioning, but that just has a really comfortable feel to it. The Jordan Tatum 3. Absolutely beautiful pair. I haven't tried the 4s, so I can't say if those are any more comfortable or less comfortable. But here we have a huge air zoom unit, and I think we have Cushioning 3.0 throughout the rest of the midsole. And the materials, as you can see, are incredibly thin, and they just feel so nice around my feet. I don't know what it is with this shoe. I love to wear them in the gym. In my opinion, they're not stable enough for basketball. As you can see, they twist and turn like crazy, which is just a big downside of the shoe. Try them with Victory insoles, way better, but then you're also a little bit higher off the ground, which is also a really nice thing of these. You're got a lot of comfort and you're lower to the ground. Next up is a shoe from Way of Wade, the Way of Wade 12, and I know these are really expensive, and a weird thing about these as well is you can't see that much compression, but as soon as you put your foot into this shoe, you notice the foam compressing right underneath your foot. So this is one of the best shoes for step and comfort in my personal opinion. Crazy light materials, also you almost don't feel them, it's like wearing a sock even. And then we have a full length Super Boom setup. You can see it here on the medial side a little bit better. As I said, there's not as much compression, but the cushioning is definitely there, and it's an amazing shoe. If you want to copy them, you can use my affiliate link for Way of Wade. It's going to be a link in the description box down below. You can also use my code LucasSimona10. Make sure to check out my last video that I uploaded for the best value for money pair, also a shoe from Way of Wade. Not on this list, however, as they don't have as much cushioning as the other shoes here, or just not as much comfort. And in general, if you're wondering where you can cop all these pairs, you can find affiliate links to all my partner stores and websites in the description box down below. I've got various codes you can use for each store where you can save, and you'll find everything down below, so I don't even have to say anything about that anymore. The next pair I want to talk about is from 361 Sports. It's a very new pair, the Joker 2. I haven't been able to wear them on court yet because I'm still recovering from my surgery. By the time you're seeing this video, I should have been returned to the court for about 5-6 days, so hopefully everything's going well. Tonight is going to be first night where I'm going to hit the gym, actually, where I'm recording right now, so I'm really looking forward to that. And now for the Joker 2, I haven't worn them on the gym or on the basketball court, in the gym or on the basketball court, my bad, but I've worn them at home and they're really, really comfortable. I don't have the exact name of the cushioning setup because 361 has crazy long names for all their cushioning setups. I'll put it on the screen somewhere, my bad for that. Just can't seem to remember, but you can see it here in the middle. And here there's also not as much compression, or at least you can see it, but you can feel it very, very well. And what's also really nice is that the materials are crazy comfortable as well. You even got those fluffy laces that kind of make the shoe look even more comfortable in my personal opinion. And then you've got a lot of padding, especially here in the heel area, very nice and comfortable. And the materials in your forefoot are pretty thin as well. I think once they're broken in, this will be an amazing and very, very comfortable pair. And they're also not really that expensive, 130 euros for their main signature shoe. Next pair I have is the Nike GT Hustle 3, another Halloween colorway, just like for the KD18. Awesome looking pair. I don't use them a lot as they're crazy high off the ground. This is probably the shoe with the most cushioning you can get on the market. For starters, you can see it already. We've got a really thick and double layered air zoom unit here in the forefoot. Then we've got a full length zoom strobel setup, which in itself is already an amazing cushioning setup. And as if that wouldn't be enough, we have a ZoomX sock liner. So essentially you have 3 cushioning setups. It's really amazing. If some of you have the GT Cut 3 Turbo, those also have that ZoomX sock liner. And the reason also why I like these more than GT Cut 3 Turbo is because of the materials. Way softer, way thinner, so really an amazingly comfortable pair. In my opinion, just not enough support from the materials to contain this crazy cushioning setup. That's also the main reason why I don't wear them, and I also don't like shoes that are so high off the ground. But because that pair is so fire, I wanted to get a pair and I've been using it a little bit, just not heavily in my rotation. Next pair is again an older pair, the ANTA Kai 1. If you've got good eyes, you might have spotted the Kai 3 here in the background behind me. They just arrived today. I also haven't worn them yet, so I can't say if these are going to be more comfortable than the Kai 1s. The Kai 2s, which you can see here a little bit, are not as comfortable, but a great shoe as well. I've talked about them a lot. But here, also on the medial side, you can see a almost fully exposed midsole. I think it was something like Nitro Edge foam, if I'm not completely mistaken. Really comfortable, a lot of compression, and somehow not too high in the ground in the forefoot. So the Kai 1 was really a pair I enjoyed a lot. You've also got a lot of padding on the tongue and in the heel area, so an overall amazingly comfortable shoe. The one thing that's not as comfortable as with other pairs here are the materials, as they're just a little bit more stiff and take some time to break in. But apart from that, I really enjoy playing in the Kai 1s and I still use them even though the Kai 3 is already out. And now for the second to last shoe, I have the Nike Sabrina 2. This is a little bit of a weird pick, but one of the most comfortable basketball shoes for me personally. For one, they fit my wide feet perfectly. They are so soft in the materials and they're very low to the ground, but just have enough foam and that little zoom unit in the forefoot there to give me the feeling that I'm not walking directly on the ground. And they're very minimalistic, so if you like shoes like that, that's a great pair. One downside to them is also the torsional support, just not as good. I even made them what the colorway on Nike ID, and I haven't even played with them that much because I have another colorway that I used for all of last season for shoot-arounds and stuff like that, and I really enjoy them, but just not for games because of the torsional support. But some of you don't need as much torsional support. You maybe use some custom installs that add more support and get rid of those issues anyways. So if you're like that, this is a great pair, and if you want a very comfortable shoe but not a max cushioning setup, if that makes sense, Sabrina 2 is a great pick. And now for the last shoe, I want to talk about the Dawn Issue 7. I went with these over the Nike Book 1s. They are very similar, but these are just a tiny little bit more comfortable in my personal opinion. And I've talked so much about the Book 1s, I think you're completely sick of it already. But I just had to mention it because what would be an L-Swoops YouTube video without mentioning the Nike Book 1s. Now for these, as I said, very comfortable materials, not breathable at all, so that's a downside, but a lot of padding, and this shroud here in the forefoot is also very soft and just overall a very cozy feeling when you're wearing the shoe. And for the cushioning setup, we have full length Light Strike Pro, a very thick slab in the heel, a little bit less in the forefoot. So this is also a great pair if you want a lot of impact protection in the heel, but not as much in the forefoot. Now with all that being said, that's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any other suggestions, just let me know in the comment section down below. I'd also really appreciate a comment for the algorithm. And if you enjoyed, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel. Have a good one and see you next time.